Je suis de celles qui se donnent, je ne sais pas pourquoi. Pas de celles qu'on emprisonne avec une bague au doigt.
Good morning to everybody and welcome in Cannes to one of the most important fair all over Europe and all over the world also I think, but now I have to introduce you the special guest for this edition, the David Show, one of the most important voice in terms of trend setting. How are you, David?
I'm well. It's nice to be in Cannes. It's nice weather, so it's always nice to be there. And we're with the swimwear business, and you know, swimwear, it's a difficult time for fashion. The forecasts are difficult, recession, prices, insecurities. But swimwear, I mean, we reckon it's going to grow from a sort of 16 billion market in 2016 to by 24 billion. So it's a real strong growth area. So it's good to be here. Positivity.
I have a question for you, David. A lot of time people ask, does fashion have a political position? Does fashion and the clothes have a sex? What do you think about it? Is fashion active in this sense, or it's only a mirror of what is already happening in our society?
Well, that's a very big question, and it's a very appetite question. I think for the last, when the economy is good, fashion is always about status and decoration and labels and branding is still a very important subject. But we're at a moment of big change, and there's a lot of insecurity in the world, and people are saying, well, it's time for me to be self-empowered, empower myself, not trust government, not trust banks, I'll do it all myself. And one of the big routes to self-empowerment is self-expression. And self-expression is how I present myself. And suddenly fashion has become a key way of self-empowerment, of making my statement about it. Obviously, there's the obvious way about I'm wearing my T-shirt. I've got, no to this and no to that. And I got very Kathleen Hamnet 1990s coming back in all this kind of brandavillism and all the rest of it. But much more subtle is the thing about enjoying myself, being myself, letting my clothes tell you who I am. And it doesn't have to be status clothes. It can be any clothes. And what we're seeing is a transfer of fashion power. It's stupid to say that because Milan and Paris are always going to be Milan and Paris, but a bit of London. But the Americans are super strong at the moment because the Americans have found a way to do sexy, simple and inclusive dressing. And the big labels of the moment.
Talking about body positivity, the message of body positivity, we can say that fashion in this period is very strong in this sense. She wants to give a message of inclusivity, of body positivity, of gender neutral and all the other things. And this is the reason for one of the most great trend we saw on a catwalk for the next spring summer, the transparency or the part,
a lot of bare skin, a lot of free nipple,
a lot of nude look.
The breast has become a very important part of the statement. It's emphasized, but as you say, it's in a body positivity way. It's my body. I'm proud of it. I don't care what you say. And it's again a lot of nudity, huge, 338%. Somebody calculated more skin and flesh than any other catwalk show. It's quite amazing. I'm very excited about colour, and what's exciting about the new season, we will still have a lot of bright colours, I'm talking about summer 24, is that these brights will be used not in sort of like bright blocks, but a lot of merging of bright colours. So the kind of effects of merging and movement of colour will be the next step in it. Black, of course, is black, but I think the excitement is in colour, and I think people are enjoying colour. And it's really, I think for the swimwear market, will be a lot of plains, and a lot of color in this kind of new, sexy simplicity, inclusivity story.
The sea is choking with the monsters of the deep who are trying to drag me down.
You work with a lot of great brands with a strong identity. For example, we see on the back this one. I have this one. It's a typical Burberry print, and
Birch is Maria Melorn, and then we have Moncler there. We have Lululemon over there. So there is a lots of different sort of ideas of garments. Well, something that gives something in common between this one and this one is to use our bonded fabric as a sort of scuba look, but it's not a proper scuba. So give you performance, give you body, but at the end is not
scuba look. And the fact is that we want to know, when you start to work with a great brand or maison, if it comes from French, how is the brief? They want you to realize for them an item, and it's a cooperation between you and
cooperation. Let's say when they release this sort of garments, they also need a sort of technical information and technical guidance. And so this is what we do with them. So we say which is the type of look you may want to achieve, and so that then we can suggest you the best option to adopt, considering that for us, but anyway, also for them and for many other ones. So it is important to find a good compromise between fashion and performance. So not compromising the performance, but not compromising the aesthetic look and the fashion aspect. That's why those brands likes our fabrics.
A clothes, in his case, is sustainable if it has a longevity in a time. So it's not only a fact of materials, but
I listened to that carefully, and I'm going to be a bit controversial here, as usual. There are a lot of pat words going around, like, recycle and all the rest of it. And durable is another one of these words. And as I said in my speech this morning, what does durable mean? Durable means it works well when I'm buying a 15,000 euro Birkin bag because that will last forever and it's in fashion forever. But how do I make durable fashion when I'm serving a market like Upim or somebody like Ovis? $10, $20 T-shirts and the rest of it. It's very, very difficult. And the question I ask is, what price does durability have? What is the consumer prepared to pay for durability? We talked about the tights. Tights, okay, but now they make durable tights, but instead of costing €5 for the tights, they cost 75 euros. So how much is a consumer prepared to pay for a promise that it lasts forever? And I want one last thing. Human beings are human beings. Leopards do not change their spots. And the reason we have this constant change is because we get bored. And when we get bored with something or somebody or the car or the telephone, we change it. And you cannot... People think they can change human nature. You cannot change human nature. And it's boredom. So it's not a question of morality or that I want to keep it, but it's about, so what's the durability worth and can you beat human nature? And I question those two things.
For you.
For me. No, I fully agree with David anyway. So we see that many brands, despite all the effort that they do, to tell stories about sustainability, story about longevity or whatever, finally they have to keep on saying. And then finally they have to be attractive, they have to create the needs inside the consumer to buy something else. Maybe not tons of goods, but something else, and still to be loyal. I see that many brands has really ambitious aims, but finally they are not sustainable because there is not a supply chain capable to sustain this sort of aims and set of goals. So if you want to change completely your production to recycle one, there is not enough fibers to use. And to recycle, to have something to recycle, you need anyway to produce something virgin.
Thank you so much, Matteo. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. And just the last thing, very short and more or less together. A positive message for fashion industry.
No, I'm positive about 2023, despite all the issues around the world, I have to say, because anyway, people still needs something to be show off, and I see lots of activities, lots of new brands that are booming anyway, schemes, so we talk a lot about schemes, so on, so and many other ones so are growing.
We can say fashion is back. Fashion is back. Thank you so much. A great pleasure to be here with us, with you,
Thank you
and
very
enjoy
much.
this beautiful fair. Bye.
Thank you.
So